Got it, Anjali. Okay. Okay. Yes, yes. Just give me a second. All right. Welcome everyone. Welcome to 360DigiTMG. My name is Jamil. So welcome to the success story, Meghal, and
Thank
all
you.
the people watching online or YouTube as well. Welcome everyone. So we'll be starting the session in just 1 minute. And yes, let's start. Meghal, how are you, Meghal? How are you today?
I'm good, very well. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, Meghal. It's very nice that our people are getting placed, and I'm getting to do the success story. I'm really happy that you got placed.
Thank you. Thank
Right.
you.
So, Meghal, so how are you feeling?
Uh, Very excited, I would say, because this is something which, at today's scenario, everyone is expecting to get into data science and putting their hard work in order to get placed as a data science profile. So definitely, I am among those people who got the opportunity. So you can understand I am on the clouds right now in terms of
Yes, yes, I
happiness.
can. I can see it on your face, Meghal.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's really good to hear from you. And people who are joining online, let me tell you, I know Meghal from the projects. We did work on the projects as a team, right? And he used to handle the projects. He used to monitor the projects as well. So the capability that I've seen you in the projects for like you to take the initiatives in the projects.
In that way, I would say I would first of all like to thanks to 360 DGTM for upgrading the skills. People like me who are coming from another profession who is looking to get into IT, get some knowledge of data science, which is at this point of time is at boom. So 360 DGTM, I give the maximum credit in terms of not only upgrading my skills, but also because of this upgradation of skills, I am sitting at this position where I am sharing my success story of getting placed into some of the big one of the big fours. So definitely this all the credit goes to the 360 DGTM as well for me getting this opportunity.
Thank you, Megal. Thank you for those kind words. Uh, Megal, so like, what was your thought when you first took this, change in your career? Like, did you had any previous knowledge about science, data science thing, or any Python programming that any programming experience? Like, what was your first, approach to this data science course?
So basically, my entire education was into IT. But after doing an MBA, I got it placed into management sector. And but somehow the other way, I was inclined towards getting technical understandings, not having curiosity to learn new technical languages. So when I completed my 6 years, 7 years, and I wanted to get into now at this point of time, I was looking for get into IT. So I searched about different technologies which are currently working on the and there is a lot of demand in the market. So I come across with the data science profile. That is how I started my journey of data science in 2019. I remember in the month of October I started. Then in 2020 the lockdown and everything happened. So
Hmm.
I keep on studying. The only thing which I come across while doing the data science was um, because the market is comprising of lot many data science people. in today's scenario. The industries are also looking in very smart way how they can fetch the people who have actual knowledge, because there are people who are not only having the knowledge but also having an additional advantage. So I would say people like me who is looking for a profession change should not give up. There should be a challenge kind of scenario in you itself, because there were scenarios I gave 5 6 interviews where I was also failing some or the other way. So
Hmm.
only thing which kept me keep on going on was in believe in me. Definitely, I have given this time. This is what my passion is. This is what I was interested to get into. So I would say yes. If you have a passion and you believe in yourself that you will be able to achieve, despite of you have been failing a lot many times, I would say one thing: don't give up, because if you give up, you will lose the opportunity. And today's world, there is a lot of opportunities in the market. Industries are looking for data science, and this is the best time you can get the opportunity.
Exactly, Michael. The hiring process also has become very creative nowadays
Yes,
compared
yes,
to 2017, 2016 hiring. Back then, just a certificate in data science would have been enough, but now it's become a bit of creative using live online, you know, live kind of interviews being done,
yes,
video call
yes.
interviews. They
In
want to check
and
how the presentation is about, you
yes,
know,
exactly. Few things I would mention while because of my past experience, I gave the interviews. The interviews are nowadays very smart. The interview
yes,
people who are taking interview of not only looking you from a data science aspect, they are not only looking you from a machine learning aspect. They wanted to know what value added service they can be getting out of you. So just by having machine learning algorithms and you are having a certification is not sufficient at this point of time, because every interview whenever I have given, I have been grilled in terms of Python codings also. I was being asked SQL queries also. Even I was being asked data structures and algorithms. I was being asked oops concept. So what I understood that they are trying to analyze me in all aspects, not only from the machine learning aspect. So
exactly. Like they are
you are very
paying a
much
higher
correct.
package. Yeah, they're paying a much higher packages to data science jobs, like 10 lakhs to 15 lakhs, whatever they're paying. It depends from company to company. They're, looking for a complete package from you know, from a person who they're interviewing. Not
Yes,
only how theoretically is good, how knowledgeable he is in, coding as well as things that he can handle, like say, under pressure within a minute
yes,
or so, will he be able to do the coding or not?
yes. They are moreover looking how logically you are able to answer, how analytically you are able to think for a particular problem, how precise you can be in terms of writing a code. All aspects they have been observing, not only on the technical aspect. If I talk about the non-technical aspect, they are even looking for the communication skills. People who do not have communication skills, they have been judged on that also. People are also not only looking from 100% knowledge. In few of the interviews what I come across, the interviews were not expecting from me to have 100% machine learning knowledge. What they were expecting is you should have 20 to 30% of knowledge of machine learning, but that 20 to 30% should be 100%.
Exactly. With the communication skills as well, it's good that you have raised, because the data science job is a client facing mostly. Like you'll be dealing with the directly with the clients, you'll be having daily
Yes,
meetings with the clients. So it's like they're at least at intermediate level of English communication skills is important here. So I would suggest people watching online to brush up on their skills, communications as well. you know
exactly.
See, English is used everywhere with the clients, with coming from different countries. So English is one way that you communicate with them and explain them how you're going to approach a particular business problem and what is your strategy to solve this business problem. So if you're
Yes,
explaining them in a proper way, then they would go ahead with you, and they will onboard you as a client to
yes,
solve the business problem. So it's like 20 to 30% you will be having, like communication will help you to gain the project,
yes,
whether you're
yes,
doing it for the company or doing it for as a freelancer. It will help you definitely.
definitely yes.
Right. it was not like an old days where communication would not be in that much of matter with Java programming or database administrator jobs, because they used to work in the backend.
Yes,
So
yes.
people who used to face the clients, only they used to have a very good communication skills. But now with the
Even
data science and AI engineer,
yeah,
so it's more important
even I
participants.
would say one thing, because in 2 3 interviews what I come across, the interviewer were asking me the questions regarding machine learning or any other algorithm. They were coming with the concept of ELI 5 way. uh,
Mhm.
I hope ELI 5 way everyone is aware that ELI 5 way, the full form of ELI 5 is explain like I am 5 years old.
Yeah, exactly,
So they are
exactly.
just trying to check your communication skills, how you are properly explaining, whether your communication is that much enough that the other person are able to understand, and along with that, are you thorough with whatever you are explaining. So this is what they I have noticed, that they are checking or observing you and judging you on that aspects.
Exactly. This thing happened with me as well. Like one of the person asked me, like, I don't know about random forest. Like I
Yes.
don't know about data science and I don't know about random forest. So you didn't explain me how it works, what is the algorithm, what is the background, what is the math intuition behind it. So I had to start from decision tree to explain him about the random forest.
Yeah, the same
So
way I told you that is
exactly,
ELI 5 way. They explain like as I'm 5 years old.
exactly. So they just want to see how you're able to are
Yes.
you able to communicate properly or not with them,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
right? So Meghal, so your journey started in an year ago in data science, right?
Yes.
So that down the line now, you'll be joining a big four company, one of the big four companies in
Yes.
next month. So that's a big opportunity and a big uh, change in your career as well. So
Yes. Yes.
you're completely looking forward for it.
Yes, this is what I was aiming for. No doubt, um, aim was big. The challenge was
Exactly.
big because I am from a background of sales and marketing. Although my education was into IT, engineering from computer science, and then CDEC and everything. But after doing MBA, I didn't get a chance and entered into sales and marketing. Then I served in sales and marketing for 7 years. Then taking a very big risk, putting my 7 years on stake and coming into IT. So aiming and not giving up, believing in myself, where I failed many a times. I got selected till last round also in few of the big logistic companies also, as a data scientist, as a profile at data analytics and all those things. So definitely I am looking forward for this profile very excitingly.
Exactly. It's like very a big stake that you had 7 years of experience, and you did bargain with that one, right?
Yes.
Like people who have a lot of experience, like even 10 years of experience, after starting their course in data science, they will have a second thought, like, okay, what am I doing? Am I doing it correct or not? Whether do I have to change my career at this point of time? Like whether I'll be making money that I'm getting right now. So they will have a few questions and thoughts here and there where that would put them off from pursuing this career further, right?
Yes.
So that will
Yes.
be a second thought always in their mind. But it's all about see how you plan your career with data science. If you really want to get into this is one of the uh, what kind of a job I can name it. This is kind of a client facing role, and you love it. I think once you are in this for another 2 3 years, then you will be like loving it so much.
Yes, yes, yes. And this is not going to be end, because it's a vast, vast, vast subject. And every day, every month, every new year, there is a new concept which has been introduced in the this subject. So something new or the other thing you have to learn every time.
Exactly. There's a lot of algorithms coming up. Maybe you become a part of a team where you develop a new algorithm. So it's kind of a learning always, and it's fun. You're developing a algorithm where you can really solve a business problem,
Yeah, yeah,
right? So
exactly.
AI is the one that many of them are hoping would transform what we are looking at right now, like situations like in medical, or you can say in military, right?
Yes, yes, yes,
Education as well.
yes, yes.
Transformation is one key aspect of our living as a human being as well. Changes happen day in day out. We wake up and we start our a day by hoping that okay, today we'll be doing so and so things, and with the help of technologies that we have right now,
Yes.
our job is getting very much easier, like communicating over Zoom, like you are at some place, I'm at some place, and that's a change in today's world, right? So how did you plan for the interviews, and how many interviews you have failed? I mean, just to have a perspective for the participants, like
Yeah.
one or two interviews everyone gets, everyone loses it. So how did you go, how did it happen with you, like how many interviews you have given?
So as of now, I have given 6 to 7 interviews total. Because the number of interviews I have given less because I was preparing myself so that I should not lose the opportunity and I should not lose any question if it has been asked. But in 5 6 interviews, what I came across, if you allow me to give me 2 minutes, and I can explain the step-wise process how an individual people who are looking, who is an aspiring data science and looking for a career in data science or any profile related to that, then first and
Yes,
foremost thing it
definitely.
is important is introduction, because in the interview the interviewer gives you the first impression to talk about yourself. And what I noticed is that is the first thing where you can start the interview and you can drive the interview in the way you want it. So your first introduction should be very much important. It's very much important how you are representing yourself, how you are portraying yourself, how you are showing your value added services other than machine learning and any other technical aspects. So there are people who are coming from different domains, they are coming from different professions, and they think that how can we correlate it, and or if we are going to talk about our non-technical experience into data science and all, so it will create a wrong impression. Honestly, I am from the same uh, steps. I am from a sales and marketing. My introduction started in the way I have to drive it. I changed my sales and marketing and showed as a value added services in terms of income, client interaction, in terms of how they can be benefited other than the technical knowledge what I have. So the first thing which is important is the introduction. How do you introduce yourself, how do you impress the interviewer, and how do you want to drive the interview to. If I'm talking about a particular project, the second thing which comes about the interviewer asks is the projects. The project should be in that way. It should not be in the scenario that it is going in haphazard manner. It should be a proper pipeline wise. How you started, where did you started, how did you get the data, and what did you do and before doing. This is the prerequisites and post requisites of machine learning algorithms, because many a times they wanted to know just by applying algorithm is not sufficient. What are the prerequisites you have taken, what are the post requisites you got after applying the algorithm, how did you portray it, how did you display it, your results. So that is more important in terms of project explanation, which I come across where I failed also many a times, and I slowly learn on individual interviews how I have to improve myself, how I have to change my project description, how I can show that this is what I have done. Because what interviewers are thinking at this point of time, because there are many people who are in the market who is doing data science. So only few people are doing data science, and the rest of the people are just copy pasting it and showing as their projects. But honestly, the interviewers are smart enough to understand that. So that is why you have to be very clear in how do you explain your project, not only the machine learning aspect but also the pre and post requisites, which is very much important. Thirdly, the machine learning algorithm is not sufficient at today's scenario. You should be well versed with data structures and algorithms, because in 80% of my interviews, it was asked to know the data structures and algorithms, the OOPS concepts, the SQL queries, the Tableau knowledge. Even HTML and CSS questions were also being asked, because nowadays the projects are being displayed using Flask. So, and to use a Flask, it is important to have a HTML and CSS concept. So even I was being asked the HTML and CSS questions also. So definitely not only machine learning algorithm, but also SQL, Tableau, and data structures algorithms. These are also very much important. You should be well versed, because if you're not good in any other thing, these will be the valued services that you can provide to them, because at this scenario, only learning algorithms everyone is having. Fourthly, which is more important at this point of time, they are not expecting you to have 100% of knowledge of all the algorithms, all supervised, unsupervised, everything. You should not be well versed. You should be well versed with only two or three algorithms, but that should be 100%. If they want to ask any question in that algorithm, you should be able to answer. Only on the basis of that you have been selected. Believe me, I have been selected in Big Four only because of this. I made myself very strong in two three algorithms which have boomed the market. They asked me questions on that, and I was being selected because of that only.
Exactly. The words that you have put are exactly what you have done preparation for your interview. See, I would also like to add one or two points here. Like whenever we get a an interview call and we prepare with all the machine learning algorithms, and at that 1 hour that we have with a session with the interviewer, he will be asking the questions something different. We'll be prepared with project, like we'll be okay, I'm gonna rock it, I'm gonna talk about all the projects that I have put in my resume, and I'll be prepared. And he will slowly start asking me about statistics, probabilities, computation, combinations, and
Yes.
arithmetic progressions, harmony. What is a harmonic? I was like, really? I thought you're gonna ask me about projects, and I'm prepared with the projects, with the algorithms, and I'm ready for this. Please ask me about my project. No, no, no. He'll be stuck with statistics, and
Even the
it
same thing,
depends
I
on
got
the
stuck in
interviewer.
two, three interviews. Same way, I was full
Exactly.
prepared with the projects. Whatever you want to ask, he can ask. I'll be there to answer it. The moment the interview started, he stopped asking about questions on projects. He started about anything other than projects, and I got stuck
Exactly.
into these things.
Exactly. It happened with me as well. I was like, come on, you should be kidding me. Like, I am prepared the whole night. I'm completely done with all the projects, and
Yes.
I can talk about all my projects in one go. And why don't you ask me about any of my projects? You are only stuck with the statistic. Then I understood that it depends on the job description, what company you're applying for, what is their services, what are the consultancy services that they're providing. If it's a banking, if it's a finance, then they'll go in depth with statistics, because that's what they do day in day out. It's what you know they are good with, right? So they
Yes,
expect
exactly.
the people who are good with statistics, who are good
Yes.
with hypothesis testings. Like
Yes.
if you're applying for manufacturing, then they are mostly interested in predictive analytics, like manufacturing projects, what you have done. And if you're applying for only a company who is doing text analytics, then they'll be hiring only for persons who are good with NLP kind of a job role.
Yes.
So it depends on the job description that you have to look for as well, and prepare accordingly, rather
Even
than just
even I noticed one more thing, Jamil. The most important question is the closing question. Matlab, in the last, when you are about to finish the interview, it is a very common question. The interviewer asks you, "Do you have any question to ask to us?"
yes.
That is the most important question to create your last impression before closing it. So you should be well versed. What do you want to ask? And it should not be your normal question. It should be something which is related to technical, which is something to their lifestyle, their routines, and everything. So there are list of questions which are available on net. I would suggest people should be going through all those questions, because closing question creates a last impression which keeps them in mind, in their mind.
Exactly. Like, if you, before the interview happens, at least half an hour before, if you go through their company profile and get some information like what they are doing, and this last question you can ask them, like, see, I've gone through your company profile, and I've come to know that you are in finance sector, and
Yes.
so how is your life like in working with so and so company XYZ? So what do you guys do? How long do you work for? And what is the lifestyle at your workplace? So that
Yes.
will give them some impression, like, okay, he has done his job by researching about the company. He's not a person who just sat for the interview an hour before on like 1 minute notice. So they would be much interested in those kind of people. They would be
Exactly.
interested in people who are interested to know about them, and they can take up the responsibilities as soon as they join the
Exactly.
company.
Exactly.
So
Exactly. Even I noticed that the interview is not only looking for the people who are good in technical, but also in terms of managerial skills also, because there are scenarios the interviewers are asking to an interview that if you are the only person, or if you are a person who is in the team, who rest all the people are suffering for COVID or some other sick or some other personal problems, and you have a deadline to achieve, whether you would be able to achieve within 24 hours or within 12 hours. So there are scenario based questions also which have been asked nowadays, just to judge how you are going to manage, how you are going to prioritize your work. So in terms of managerial skills also, they have been observing you or analyzing you. So
exactly, the reason they do ask this now and then in interviews is because they just want to know how good you'll be able to collect the data as well. In the beginning, if you have
yes,
been put in a project, whether you'll be able to conduct a survey or whether you'll be able to at least get the basic factors that are required for the project. So at least if you're able to gather that information, then they will assume that okay, he is a person who can do this job, who can take over the responsibility if someone is sick or some team leader is not available due
yes,
to some personal reasons, then you are the person who can understand what is going on in the project. So rather than being a dummy sitting there in the project waiting for the orders to come in, it's better you know what you're doing.
yes, yes, yes. And even I've noticed that bigger the company you apply, the more the basics they wanted to know, and they wanted to understand whether you are well versed it or not. Because in I have given to 2 3 big four companies, and whenever the interview went through, the more questions were on the basics, whether you call it the measure of dispersion, or you call it a center theorem, or you call it the less comprehension. Do you know what out less comprehension? How do you summarize your entire project in 3 lines? Or how do you want to explain your particular algorithm in just as if I am 5 years old, and you want to explain it with a proper example, how you did it, what exactly the scenario was, what exactly the result was. So these things are being more measured or more observed when you are giving an interview, or when you are preparing yourself. So I would suggest, if somebody who is looking for data science, you should be enough to explain as if you're explaining a 5 years kid.
Exactly.
And 5 years kid don't ask questions which is technical, they ask random questions which is not logical. So you should be in that scenario, you should be able to answer it.
Exactly, like what package you have used, why only this package, are there any other
Exactly.
packages? So why have you used such an hyperparameter? What is the use of an hyperparameter in random forest? Like any
Yes,
any algorithm for say random forest, if you're talking about the simple basic questions they'll be asking, like why
yes,
did you only choose random forest? Why not other algorithms? They might You should be aware that the interviewer knows technical round that is going on. He'll be a senior data scientist, really data scientist. Because when you're going in a second round,
yes,
then he knows everything in and out. But
yes,
he'll be try to keep calm, and he'll try to see in which part of the machine learning you are good at it, and he will try to frame all his questions around that particular part.
yes,
So if you have passed that 15 minutes discussion with him, then you can say that you have given 80% of
yes, exactly.
uh, 80% you have cracked the interview. The rest 20% depends on what are the basic questions that he's asking, and if you're able to answer those, let's say one or two, even if you miss, that's not gonna keep a bad impact to him.
Yes,
But at
yes.
least if you are through the first 20 minutes, then you can.
Yes, even I would like to add what you said is very correct. If you are if you are giving 80% of correct answer and 20% wrong answer, still it does not create a wrong impression. The reason behind this, because the companies are well versed at this point of time. People are looking for data science and they are doing certification. They are not doing full time course. They are doing a crash course, or they are learning from themselves. So the companies are also open minded in that way, because they know he is a person from a non-technical background and he want to come into technical he has not done the full-time course, but he has done a crash course. So what they are expecting, 80% answer should be correct, and 80% answer they give you a chance to ask which algorithm are you confident enough that you can do it, or I can ask anything from you. So that is why I'm saying it is not important for you to have 100% knowledge of the entire data science. You should have 20 to 30% of knowledge. And if the interviewer gives you a chance to ask which algorithm, then you should be confident enough to tell that algorithm, and you should be confident enough to explain like that an interviewer is a 5 years old kid. That is the impression where you can create, and rest 20% will be laid off. Only depending on the 80% you will be selected.
Exactly. I would also like to add one more point here. See, if you really want to become a data scientist, then for the 1 year, forget about everything, friends, families.
You won't
Keep
believe,
this as a
you won't believe,
priority.
Jamil. I closed my, I deleted my Instagram account. I deleted my Facebook account. I deleted my all social media accounts. I was only focusing on. Yeah, I stopped talking to my friends. Daily morning,
Yeah.
I was coming to a 360 classes. I did offline classes through 360, if you remember. So I
Yes.
was
Yes.
morning 6 o'clock. I used to come to class. From there, I used to go to office. My profile was of sales and marketing. So anyhow, after going to office, I have to go for sales and marketing. Then I come back to home at 7:30. Then after coming 7:30, just give 5 minutes to my family, and then again studying back till 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. This was the daily routine from last 1 year from my side, and fortunately, that delivered the result today.
Exactly. No, it will definitely deliver the results. If you are giving yourself 100% to this thing, to this data science or machine learning or AI or Tableau, even if you're just interested in doing Tableau, then if you
Yes,
are into it for the 1 year, then you will know in and out about all the concepts. You'll be 100% sure whenever the interview is scheduled, you will be thorough in the concepts.
yes.
And for the 1 year, you have to just wait till you get a job, and then it's all yours. Then
Wait,
once
and
you get in,
more
then
important, I would say you should believe in yourself, because I know when the person feels very depressed when he or she is not selected in any of the interview, because it's very difficult to get an interview call. And if you lose any interview, the person gets very much depressed. Even I used to get into depression and all. But only thing which kept me keep on going was believing myself, believing in the hard work which I have done. So I would suggest everyone, don't give up, because definitely some or the other way you will be selected for data science or the any other profile related to that. Only you have to keep on working, keep on going on, keep on banging, keep on doing anything. And only best medium to do is through LinkedIn or through the Institute 360 Digital also supports by recommending for companies. So keep on going, I would
yeah,
say.
Parani will try to push all the profiles to the companies. But what I have seen here is whenever I do a mock interview with participants, they don't take it seriously. They'll be like, just a mock interview. Let's see. Even if I'm not prepared, let's see how good I am. That's not the mock interview objective is. You have to be prepared. If your mock
Exactly.
interview is scheduled, then you have to be prepared. You take it as a real interview. So the person who is taking it, he knows what's gonna happen in an interview, because like who got placed, they'll be taking your interview, or who is working as an data scientist, that those kind of a persons will be taking your interview like a mock interview. So this is a chance for you to not waste an interview, a real interview. So two, three, four, five mock interviews, whatever you feel like, take it. That's like a chance given to you to brush up all your skills, answer the questions, the basic questions, tell me about yourself. You can be prepared with all those things, and a feedback is also given as part of the mock interview
Yes.
to you, right? So it's a great opportunity that I would say that will help you to be prepared for an interview even at the midnight if it is scheduled for you,
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
right? So we'll be taking few questions, Meghal, if
Sure.
you. So we have questions here. What are the chances of freshers? And see, this question I would like to answer, Ravi, Roshan. What are the chances of fresher? Just like you're asking, what are the chances of me being alive, right? There are so many chances for freshers. You have exams conducted by these MNCs to test your analytical skills or just the logical skills. So you reach out to them, you give their exams online, you try to, be thorough with your concepts and with the projects that you have done with us, then definitely you'll crack the interview. So you will get a call if your resume is good, start preparing your resume, start preparing, draft your resume in a proper way, keep posting your resume on Naukri, LinkedIn, Cut Short, change your resume, check the profile performance, see whether you're getting proper views on your resume or not. Like you always check when you post post your pic on Instagram or Facebook, and you'll be waiting for the likes. So this is with everyone, like it's not with only me. I'll also be checking for whenever I post a pic, let's see how many likes I'm getting. So it's the same thing whenever you post your resume on Naukri, there is a profile performance given by them to see how good your resume is in the market. If your profile performance is low, then try to change it and once again post it, then you will get some idea, right? So what needs to be done, to in order to get more views on my profile, right? So probably there's something missing in your resume. That's why the HRs who will be looking at the resumes are not much interested in your profile. So you try to add a few more projects, try to do more projects, because we give you opportunity to do as many, at least two projects or three projects. So take that opportunity, do the projects to completely give yourself into the projects, not like just joining the project, being like just sitting there waiting for other people. So it's see it's I have gone through this situation. I feel like okay, I'm not able to perform any project. At least you are join the you know meetings that are being conducted, then you will get an idea. Okay, what needs to be done? Whether I can try to improve in the concepts like NLP, text, and concepts in AI, or CNN, RN, LSTM, whatever project that you're doing. So you'll try to improve that thoroughly. You'll get a chance to do that. So
Even
there
I
are
would
so many
like to give an
opportunities.
answer for this. Matlab, the question is how the freshers has the opportunity in the market, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
So I would say freshers have 80% opportunity by default in the market, because when you are applying for any company as a fresher, so the interviewer also aware that you are a fresher. He will not be getting deep into the particular thing, deep into any other thing. He would be just asking you surface level question. And to answer the surface level question, you should be well versed with the basics of everything. Along with that, you should have a value added knowledge. Along with machine learning, you should be well versed with SQL, because nowadays the data has been fetched from SQL. So you should be well versed with SQL. You should be well versed with OOPS concept, well versed with data structures and algorithms. And yes, Jamil said very clearly, very rightly, that resume plays a major role. Nowadays, companies are judging you on the basis of ATS software. ATS software is a software where the companies are putting your resume and they are being shortlisted on the basis of that particular software. You have to build up your resume, and you can build up your resume of on the basis of ATS software through online also. There are different websites you can do it. But moreover, Jamil said very nicely that the projects plays a major role. If you are well versed with the projects, if you know the projects in and out, everything pre and post requisites, so projects plays a major role, and this is the only way you can drive the project. And by default, 80% being a fresher, you are clear with the interview. Only you should be well versed with the basics, that's all.
Basic statistics.
Yes.
So there's another question. What is the key role to crack interview, Python, R, statistics, or any other topics? So to crack the interview Python, you have to be, practicing it, writing on a piece of paper rather than doing it in IDE software. You have to write it on a piece of paper and check. See, there are so many online resources to learn Python. Even cutshort.io will be giving you Python, test to check your level. LinkedIn also does that, and hacker rank will also do it. So it's up to you how you manage your time and how much time you are willing to spend on Python, because Python is the one in the market right now where if you crack that first technical round of coding, then second round will be like a cakewalk for you, because they've already shortlisted people who are good at Python. So it's about the delivery of the project that you do in the second round. So you have to spend time, you have to take it as a challenge, and you have to start practicing in hacker rank or LinkedIn or cutshort.io. So these kind of things, this kind of websites that will help you to practice more.
even
And we are
i
also
would even I would also like to add into this, machine learning, whosoever is doing for machine learning should be first start their journey with Python only, because Python is the one where you would be starting your machine learning coding. Because if you are not well versed with Python, I would not say you should have knowledge of Python, R, SQL, everything. You should have only one language knowledge, but that should be very strong enough. If you are saying Python should, you should be well versed with the OOPS concept of Python. You should be well versed with the data structures and algorithms of Python. So you should be well versed with Python. That is not necessary. You should be knowing R. You should be knowing of Python. The interviewer will ask you whether you know R or Python, in which you are more comfortable. You can say that Python. I am covered. Even I, as a person, don't know R that much, but I was strong enough in Python. So I was very confidently saying Python, because every interview nowadays they are conducting codes, and they know, due to the softwares, just by writing three words, the rest of the words can be easily get from this, from that software. So what they have started taking the coding round on notepads. So you should be well versed. Rightly Jamil said that you should be writing the code on the paper, or you should be writing the code on notepad. Only then you would be strong enough to get into Python.
And yes, to add that, you don't have to become a hardcore programmer like writing a lengthy code. The basic ones, how do you count letters in a string,
Yes.
right? Whether you're able to write a for loop and a list comprehension properly or not, whether you're able to write a defined function, small defined functions like finding the square, right? You won't believe after a person I knew, and I asked him when he was having a client interview, like to get into the project. So once he joined a company, later on again you have a interview with the client. So the client gave him a very simple question to find out even and odd numbers using list comprehension. That was the question that actual client asked him to, showcase the skills. Like, you
Yes.
won't believe, this is a very simple question that the client asked him to do, and he did it. But uh, there'll be people who'll be asking you very very simple questions as
Very simple
well,
questions,
right?
Abhi.
Very simple
I
questions.
remember in two three in one of the interview I was being asked to write a palindrome,
Yeah.
to create a palindrome. In one of the interview I was, as you said, I was being asked to count the number of letters in a particular string. And what they want the objective or the approach you are doing it, your logic behind it.
Yeah.
They ask you first, when you start coding, it is important for you to start to tell them first the logic behind how you are going to drive it, how you are going to approach it. Once your logic is clear, your 50% work is clear. Because in most of the interviews, I was being asked before writing a code, Miguel, you tell me what is the logic you are doing it, how you are going to approach that particular result. So I told them, and 50% my coding round cleared. 50% just I have to write the code, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. They will be just trying to see whether you'll be taking up this challenge or not, or whether you'll be giving
Exactly.
up in between in the half. Because there was a situation where one of my friend, when I was giving his interview, it went on for 4 hours. You wouldn't believe it went for 4 hours. And the first 2 hours were only for the coding round. They put him a coding round. They given him tasks. They even asked him to, you're free to use Stack Overflow if you want.
Even I was
So
been also told, you want to do the Google, you can do Google, since your
Google,
logic is correct. So I do
huh,
not mind whether you want to copy paste or not. Your
exactly. So
approach is right.
then approach is right. And if you want, you can, use the Stack Overflow if you want. Then the couple of questions, whatever, like 5 6 questions he have been asked, he showcased him. He has been given like 1 hour or 2 hours, and then he had this other interview, technical interview, done on the same day. So in one day, all his rounds got cleared, and the second day was only the HR round, and he got placed. So, and one more question with the previous thing. So, there will be an opportunity only to get a job in R as well. So one of my known person who was placed in different company, and then she started giving interviews, and somehow the job that she got is only in R.
Okay.
So the company is only interested in R programming. So
Exactly.
it can also happen. There is at least 10% probability chance that you can get into an only R programming job as well. So that's why we focus more on R and Python. That's why we ask participants to do work on R as well. It R will help you to understand a machine learning concept much easier than Python. So once you are thorough with the R packages, then you can easily transfer the whole concept to the Python. The only thing is you have to see how the coding part is done in Python, and you
Yes.
can take
Yes.
up, you can Google about sklearn particular package and learn about the hyperparameters.
But I
the
don't think so,
description.
Jamil. It would be that much important because in the interview they ask basic questions. Because what I have noticed, the interviewer is not going to write that particular code into his system. He's just going to observe. The questions that he will ask will be very basic questions. So I would suggest if somebody want to be strong enough or want to clear that coding round, you have to be strong enough in basics, because it's just like
Hmm.
they would be just observing what you are writing. They will not be checking that particular code in the system. If
Yeah,
some
I
a
mean,
little bit mistake is also there, they are ignoring it because they know they cannot check it, and or even they will also be not noticing it.
I mean, like slight mistake if you make, it's okay. They will, consider it because
Exactly.
they'll check whether you are able to take this as a challenge and start
Yes.
working on it. Because I've seen people, dropping off, saying in the interview, see, I'm not good with it. I don't know Python. I'm not good with it. I need to learn. I need to do this. Then that's a sign that interviewer will be like, okay, then why did you come to the interview in the first
Exactly.
case? So
Exactly.
you should not have wasted my time, right? When you know that you're not good with it, then why did you join? So
Yes.
it's better you take up the task, try to write a logic, give it some time, and then probably, you would definitely able to crack it.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly.
So that's
Hello.
what are your plans as well as
Your voice is not clear, Jamil.
upskilling? What I'm saying is, after AI to learn to upskill. Hello.
Hello. Your voice is breaking. Hello.
Meghal, are you able to
Um, there is a disturbance in the voice.
Yeah, Meghal, can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Now I can hear you clearly.
Okay, I think there was a network glitch at my place.
Okay.
So I was just asking you, so as part of your upskilling, are you planning to take up AI and machine learning operations, which is the next big in the market, learning about machine learning operations?
Definitely, definitely. But for me, at this point of time, to be very honest with you, it is important for me to deliver over here because I have cleared this round. I've got this job. For timing, I would be focusing more on this profile. Then, if when it comes to upscaling, then I will be definitely looking for AI profile now. I will be more focused towards more directed towards in that direction
Hmm.
for upgrading my skills in that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's a constant learning, right?
Yes,
We have to
yes, exactly.
upskill at some point.
Yes, yes.
So there's one question from Pravina Patil. She's saying, frankly, in my case, I can get the answer by searching in Google. But if anyone asks to write code on my own, I may not be able to do it. In this case, how should I answer them? So, Pravina, I would like to, tell you that. So at least you need to start practicing coding in on a piece of paper. Take the questions from online. There'll be solutions also given to you. Just start writing it because I feel that you're not confident in writing a code, right? So I would suggest you at least start writing a code on a piece of paper. At least we'll know what's happening in the code. So you can tell them if there's something that you don't know. You can very frankly tell them that, see, I know the approach, I know how it's being done, but I would like to also tell you that, see, can I use any Stack Overflow so that I can write it down in a proper professional way. If you tell them, then they would agree on it, right? So it depends on how you communicate with them at that point.
So Pravina, I would Jamil, I would like to answer this also. Pravina, I would say one thing. There are different websites which are available at this point of time. Like if you say Hacker Rank, Hacker Earth, or Algo Experts, or some of the other websites, there are websites which are available. I would suggest you first of all, before writing a code, it is important for you to give the logic and the skills or the way you are going to approach that project. that problem. If you are able to explain the approach, how you are going to approach it, your 50% task is done. Your 50% task is done, because the moment you are going to tell in the right way how you are going to approach it, how you are going to get the output, the interviewer will be impressed. Then the second sentence, the interviewer himself will say, you start writing the code. When you start writing the code and you are hesitating in writing a code, the interviewer will himself or herself will tell you, if you want, you can search for a particular syntax and through Google. So I would suggest, don't be hesitating in writing a code of Python or writing a code of anything. You should be aware that how you are going to approach that particular task. If you are confident enough and you are well enough, you can explain him that yes, this is the right way I can approach that particular task in a better way. Then the interviewer will be happy, because every interviewer know that in today's world everyone is doing copy paste, but the logic behind of doing that is not aware by everyone. So it is important for
Exactly.
you to have the logic behind it, how you are going to approach, whether you are going to use a list, whether you are going to use an array, whether you are going to use a dictionary, or you going to use a tuple. It all depends on that.
Exactly. See, the course that we offer, we give you the Python and R programming course as well. So the assignments that you should be doing on your own, rather than taking your friends' assignments and doing it. So
Yes.
if you're doing it on your own, then what happens is whatever the error that you get in your code, you'll try to search for that error online. Copy paste that error in the Google. Then you'll come to know about Stack Overflow. Then you'll come to know about different websites where this kind of an issue has already been addressed. So that will help you to process your thought about solving that problem. So that's how I learned. That's how Meghal learned. That's how people who are
Yes,
sitting place
exactly.
have learned. So
Exactly.
that kind of a thought process, if you implement, then that fear of whenever a Python coding comes, then you'll be that fear will be gone. So you can keep it in a professional way and say that, see, I know the logic. I just need one, a push to start the coding. So can
Exactly.
I, quickly do a Stack Overflow? Then they will also be like, okay, this person knows what Stack Overflow is. This person knows how to, solve the problem. So he can try to check it online. So he's a person who can do it on his own, right? So see, in MNCs, everyone knows that for people who develop these algorithms, they come with a lot of experience, like experience in the sense like 50, 60 years. People will be creating these algorithms who have done a PhD, master's degree, and spent whole life in creating an algorithm. So it's obvious that we don't match to their level, right? So that additional thing will be given by the interviewers. So you have to be just confident and speak to them. So there's one question from Rahman. You asked me like, when after learning data science, one question keeps striking my mind: where will statistics be useful in real time? So Abdul Rahman, statistics is all about the algorithms that you learn in machine learning, right? Start from your ADA, the univariate analysis that you do, learning about histograms and box plots. That is a statistical tool that you're using to analyze your data. So start from your ADA to end of your algorithm to end of your accuracy checking. All depends on the statistics, probability concepts, concepts related to uh, central tendency, concept related to hypothesis testing. Everything is statistics. That's why statistics is very important as part of your machine learning.
And that too, basics of statistics is very much important, because for cracking an interview you should not have a depth knowledge of anything, you should have a basic knowledge of everything. If you are able to answer the basic understanding of everything, you would be able to crack the interview. That what I have noticed in past interviews.
Exactly. If you know about integral integrations and calculus at a basic level and differentiation at the basic level, then you will be able to
Exactly.
understand the gradient descent algorithm. You'll be able to understand the stochastic gradient descent algorithm. So
Exactly. Exactly.
the algorithm is there for you. You just need to understand the concept. To understand the concept, you need to know some background of it, how it is working. So
Yes.
it's same like driving a car. You need to know how to push the gates in a right direction,
Yes,
right?
exactly. Exactly.
So that's how it works, my friend. So websites you learn from is a question from Sri Krishna Reddy.
So I would say there are multiple websites where you can learn from. That is, first of all, Hacker Rank you can learn from, because in that particular website you can scale the level of difficulty for that particular domain or the language. For example, if you're focusing on Python, you can start with the basics by selecting easy questions, so that your basics would be clear. Then second website which I started working was the Hacker Earth, where the machine learning algorithms can also be practiced. There is a particular section where you can apply machine learning algorithms, not only Python, SQL, or any other thing. So there is a website where you can upgrade your skills in data science from there also. And the majorly most important was the algo expert. Algo expert was the major role which took into my life, because the level of questions, the level of hints they are giving. So how I used to approach it, I used to read a question, I used to start writing a code. When I used to stuck, I used to first check what is the hint one. Then after reading the hint one, I used to start coding, thinking about logic. Acha, this is the hint one. This is how I can approach. If again I go get into stuck, I gets into stuck. Then I look for hint two. Then I start reading, and by hint two, you would be able to answer the entire question. So this is how it should be approaching. There should not be way key if you are getting into a problem. Just started writing the code without thinking about the logic is not the solution. Think about the logic, how you're going to approach it. Start writing the code. Don't give up. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. When you are literally in this scenario, you are losing 1.5 hour into this. Then you look for hint one to take a small push. What exactly, which direction you should think. Then, then start writing the code. Start thinking the logic. When you are stuck again, then go for hint two. Don't directly jump into the results, because if you're going to directly jump to the results, that's just like copy pasting.
Exactly, Meghal. So to add one more point on this, so Bharani, who is the CEO of 360, he is trying to push to get this app rolled out as for the students who are getting enrolled with us, so that we have incorporated Python practice thing in the app itself. So I think it will be out in the month of May and max to max June. So once the app is ready for both Android and iPhone application, then you'll have a chance to do it in your app as well with the 360. So let's just take one more question and we'll try to wrap it up. So there's a question to how to make my resume to attractive so the HR or managers notices and shortlist. How to make my resume so attractive?
So I would say one thing. You first read the job description. You find out the words which are they looking into. If they are looking for NLP, the person who is having a knowledge of NLP, you write that NLP into your resume. If they are looking for SQL knowledge, you write that particular word into your resume. Because at last that resume has been given to HR. HRs are not knowledgeable in terms of data science aspects. They are only in terms of matching. This is what job description is, this is what his resume is, whether this particular skill is available in resume or not. If it is available, okay, shortlist him or her. This is the only way to to crack the first round and to get an interview.
To get your profile shortlisted, you have to have the keywords properly placed there so that
Exactly.
uh, you know you get your profile shortlisted. So can you repeat the website names? Website names, Ravina, it's Algo Expert, ALGO XPERT, Algo Expert, Hacker Rank, and
Hacker
Cut,
Earth.
Hacker Earth, Cutshot.io,
Yes, cutshot.io.
and is one that's also good. And LinkedIn. LinkedIn also gives you a chance to
Yes.
showcase your skills by having a 15 minutes quiz on them online with them.
Yes.
So resources are so many, depends how you manage your time.
And I would suggest just by going to the website is not sufficient. The way I told you to approach for particular problem is more important. Don't directly get into jump into the results. Jump into the hint one first. First you find out a logic how you're going to approach that particular problem. After finding a logic, start writing a code. Put your full efforts in writing. Start writing a code. If you are got into stuck for 1.5 year, don't come for the first hint in just 15 or 20 minutes. Put at least half an hour to 1 hour for that particular problem, for before looking at the first hint. After 1.5 hour, you are gone through all aspects, you are not able to find out, then go for hint one, so that it just like a way in which direction you have to think. Then start thinking again how you're going to approach it. Start writing a code. This is how it should be in terms of coding aspects. Only then you would be strong enough to break through the coding rounds.
Exactly, Meghal. That's how you have to approach, even with a data science objective or business problem as
Yes,
well. Even if
yes,
you get a data set, it's not like directly you are starting to build an algorithm. You need to first understand what is the data type, what kind of a different data types and transformations that you can apply.
yes,
And that thought process, if you have, then you can move ahead with the EDA process, and then later on building the model. So
yes,
understanding the data is very, very important in your data science.
exactly.
So, Megal, I really appreciate that you have given your time, valuable time, to
Thank
help
you,
other
thank you,
people as well to crack this data science interview.
thank you,
So, thank
thank
you
you,
so much, Megal. Thank you for joining. And
thank you,
we
360
360
DigiTM also.
congratulate you. We heartily congratulate you on getting placed and giving your time, Megal.
Thank you to 360 DigiTM. Thank you, Jamil, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, 360 DigiTM, for giving me the understanding and giving me a confidence to get into data science position or a related profile. Because of because of learning what I've got from 360 DigiTM, I am sitting at that place and very happily and confidently speaking about all the success I have done, all the hard work I have done. So thank you for all you have given to me. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Megal. Thank you, team, joining online through YouTube as well. Thank you for giving your time as well. So I hope everyone gets placed soon.
Same here. My best wishes are always with everyone now.
Yeah, that's what we do. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Deepti? Deepti?
I'm there.
Okay.